Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with part of the gang from Sell for 1% and Equitable Mortgage. It is the 30th of April, the last day of the month already. This is crazy
Woo.
how time has flown by so far this year. As you see Jay driving there, all the trees have turned green, the bushes, the flowers are starting to pop, and Rich looks like he's in Siberia with his winter jacket on and his hat. So we have
I was
everything
cold
going
this
on
morning.
here. They must have the AC turned on high there at the office, Rich.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as far as it's end of April, beginning of May. It's like the military and the Mayday warning, Mayday, Mayday. Well, you better look out because the Fed did not lower rates yesterday. They
Surprise,
took a
surprise.
wait and see approach. And the 10-year Treasury bond does not like it. We were at 441 last night. We went down to 439. But just for context, I mean, we were in the mid 420s a week or so ago. We were below 4% back when before the war started, and we had the 5.9 rates. So it might not sound like a lot, but when you're almost a half a point higher right now than what we were on the 10-year treasury, that does affect mortgage rates. And we're more in that six and a quarter, 6.5 range on a 30-year fixed right now. FHA, you might still get into a 5.9 rate. First time home buyers might get into a 5.9 rate, but the average person, we're six and a quarter, 6.5, depending on what your down payment is. And that's kind of where we are right now.
All right. Well, it could be worse. It could be 2 years ago and we were 8%.
Could be.
I
Yeah.
mean, the good old days of eight and a half, eight and a quarter.
Eight
So
and a half and transitory inflation.
yeah, yeah. Now you just have a stubborn Fed head that doesn't want to do anything. He looked a little
And there,
disheveled yesterday, I thought.
yeah, it might have been his last one. So, and also the other thing about that meeting yesterday, interesting fact is four of the Fed governors dissented. So we had an
Yep.
8-4 vote. And that's the first time since 1992 that there's been four governors, Fed governors, dissent from the prevailing thought of keeping rates the same. So four of them wanted to lower rates out of the 12. That's that's maybe a sign that we will see rates go lower here sometime once the new
So
Fed governor takes over. But again, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dave, but again, that doesn't necessarily mean rates are going to go down for
right,
mortgages. It depends
right.
what the market sentiment is. Yeah,
No, you're exactly right. We saw that before that,
right.
they lower rates and everybody's like, okay, well, mortgage rates are going to drop and mortgage rates went up.
They went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's so, I mean, there's so many things going on and there's so many things that goes into the pot to, make the soup. And one is just out of sync a little bit. It impacts everything. I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting that Powell announced that he was going to stay on as a governor. And so my question is then with Wash coming in, who is who is he replacing? Is it a set number? I wasn't really clear on.
I'm sorry I missed that. I had a lot going on yesterday. I don't know what Powell said, but I'm interpreting what you're asking, that maybe Powell is going to be a Fed governor, like
Hmm. Yep.
of
Correct.
one of the regions, but he's not going to be the chairman. The Fed
Right.
chairman will be Warsh. So that may be the case. And again, I didn't catch that though. So you're telling me
Yeah,
something that I
he's
didn't know.
staying on. He's staying on as I predicted last week on this show, and it's mostly because of this lawsuit with oh, I forget her name, but that's why he's staying on is because of Trump and the lawsuit.
They dropped
Trump
that.
can't really seem to stay out of his own way.
Yeah, but
It
what governorship is he taking over?
would be,
They're already on there.
Okay,
He
so
was just the chairman.
he's a chairman, but he's also a governor of which district?
I don't know,
I
Dave.
don't know which district he's in charge of.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just thought that the chairman,
The,
was kind of, his own man. He wasn't a governor as well. So
And
interesting.
the four dissents are I was going to bring that up too. I thought that was very interesting. I mean, the meeting minutes that are going to come out of their next meeting, because he's going to get in around May 11th, the new chairman, and he's going to be pounding the table about it. It's going to be interesting to see the meeting minutes and what they say after the meetings and how things go.
Yeah, and all that, will impact future rates and so on and so forth. But again, it could be worse. It could be a year and a half, 2 years ago when it was 8%. Will it be like it was
Oh
5 years
yeah,
ago and get back down to 3? I don't think any
no,
one of us sitting here believes that.
no, and it shouldn't. If it does, something bad's happening.
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
So
where would let me ask you this question, Rich. Where would be like a normal rate be, all things being equal?
I think we're there. If you took the average of the last 25 or 30 years, somewhere between 6 and 7% is kind of an average.
Well, the average, I think, is
So
still
yeah,
around 7.5 over 30
is it
years.
that high? Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it's
you
kind of
you might
crazy.
have more knowledge about that than I do, but yeah. Now, throughout the period around 2011 to 2019 before the COVID thing and the really low rates, we would see something in the fives, then we get down into the four and three eighths range, and then back up to the fives. And we'd have a 15-year fix sometimes with a three in front of it. So, it would be nice if we could just get back to those 20 teens level where, we would see the four and the fives and, maybe we get to five and then back down into the mid fours again. And,
Okay.
that seemed like a nice sweet spot.
Okay.
Um, if we go back anytime post crisis, 2008, 2009 crisis, starting around 2010 or 11, that's where we started to see the rates get into that 4 or 5% range, which would be a nice range to be in, I think, right now. I don't think we could hope for any more than that.
Yeah, I don't
wasn't
think
the
so.
overnight funding rate back then 0% when they were
Yeah,
doing quantitative
yeah,
easing?
yeah. They were doing the
And I
quantitative
just kind of
easing.
that just kind of goes to show people that are paying attention to all this that yeah, the Fed can drop their rates, but it doesn't necessarily mean mortgage rates are going to be 3 or 4.
Right.
There's the Fed's mandate is to control inflation in the job markets, and right now jobs actually are really strong, which is amazing to me. So the job numbers are really good. If the
Yeah,
job numbers start tanking, that's when I think you'll see rates get below 6 again, and will be 5.8, 5.7. But I think this thing has to break in the labor market to see that happen.
Well, and there's a lot of discussion, and I think, the new Fed chairman kind of touched on this during his hearings, is that doing business the old way in today's world may not be the best way to do things. You have to evolve. Otherwise, we would be stuck in the 1920s, with the issues that they had then. I mean, things have to evolve. So yeah, they have their mandate that you want to watch jobs, you want to watch inflation, but how do you mix that? And so it's going to be interesting to see these guys, like the Treasury's Secretary Scott Bessent. I mean, these dudes are financially they're pretty. I mean, they are operating in the world. They're not some MIT or Harvard, on theory. These guys are actually doing it. They know the inside game, much more than you and I will ever have the opportunity. So, yeah, it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Um, I think a lot relies on what's happening in Iran. How fast can Trump
that's
get this wrapped up?
that is a big variable right now. That's the elephant in the room for sure.
Yeah, I think that, they kind of thought maybe, by taking out, 40 leaders and bombing the crap out of them, would, pound them into submission. And that hasn't quite happened. And, it's going longer than I think they wanted it to go. And we're seeing some fallout from that. And I think, as soon as they can get this thing wrapped up, you're going to see like a pressure cooker. There's a lot of pent up energy that's going to explode, and we'll see. Again, these guys on the backside. Trump's a business guy too. He understands the numbers, and how do you bring them all together to make it work for us out here on the street? Trying to make a living. So, Jada Bomb on the listing side, what are you seeing there?
Listings are strong right now as far as, number of new listings coming on, ones that are going into contract. I mean, everything but we're at that time. It's seasonal peak time. It's, about to be
Right,
May 1st.
right,
So, things look good for sellers. I don't have the current actors in front of me, but if I had to guess, we got to be around 4,500 or a little bit above that. Things are coming on the market and things are selling at a pretty good velocity right now. So, for my sellers in particular, you know, you're overpriced. We talk about seemingly every week. If you're overpriced, you're probably not going to sell right away.
right.
But unless you got something that's really spectacular about the property or the house or whatever. And if you come on and you're underpriced, well, you're going to sell in like a day. And so it's like trying to find that sweet spot. And that's why you pay, me the big bucks to come in there, is like, where can you get the most amount of money and have it not take forever? The average days on market is around 28 to 35, depending on what suburb you're in and what price point. The one phenomenon that I'm seeing here that you're seeing in different parts of the country as well, the luxury market, 800,000 and plus, those seem to be moving pretty easily. And then the ones that are 200,000 and lower, that first time buyer part, those ones are a struggle. So I find that very interesting to see that dynamic kind of playing out. My armchair opinion would be that, well, the people in the luxury market probably aren't as affected as much by the economy as people that, are getting crushed at the gas pump, which we'll let Dad talk about his gas meter and hear what kind of propaganda he
Yeah,
has,
Dave. Yeah,
what kind of
Dave, what are
spin.
you seeing out there with gas prices?
The whole world is falling apart. That's what I see. So it's all coming tumbling down. It's all crashing. Uh, Gas is up to $4.25 a gallon. Um, I think that we're still lower than the previous administration gas prices, but you get spoiled. Gas gets down to less than $3. You're paying 289, 279. Then all of a sudden it's up to 399. Now 425 seems to kind of be the number. People get spoiled, and they're going to be mad about it. But I think the grand scheme of things, well, we talked about this a little earlier. I'm still trying to figure out how our gas prices are going up when only 2% of our oil comes from the Middle East. And we just, conquered Venezuela, which is what, the second or third
They're,
largest oil producer in the world.
I don't think they're producing gasoline from there. They have sticky crude.
It's the oil.
They have sticky crude, sweet crude.
No, I think theirs is heavy. Ours is sweet, which is why we're not built for the sweet crude. So ours gets exported mostly. I think Venezuela is heavy.
I don't want to argue with you, my father, who I love so much.
I
But
follow Gas Buddy. Get your facts
oh,
straight.
Gas Buddy's saying 4.99 everywhere.
No, they're
And
not.
on my drive up here, I saw a 385 at a Giant Eagle. I saw multiple 4.99s, and I saw a lot of 4.30s. So it's all
Now,
over the
you
place.
have to be careful with the Giant Eagle with that 385. That's only if you use your Giant Eagle Plus card. They have two prices there. So you have to be you have to know what you're looking at, which obviously you don't. And that's
It's
okay.
the old bait and switch.
No,
That's
it's
the old bait
not.
and switch.
No, it's if you have a Giant Eagle Plus card and you attach your credit card to it, then you get that 385 price, which is like, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's a hell of a deal.
Let's,
I
let's
go
get a live
by
fact check on the show.
I typically go by what Kroger gas is. They tend to be the ones that kind of lead the way to a certain extent. And so if Kroger is up, then I know everybody else is up. They're on 23, right there at Lewis Center Road and 23. We call it the Blue Kroger, and they have a gas station out there. And then if you're fortunate enough, you go further south on 23, you go to BJ's Wholesale, and they're normally 30, 40 cents below even Kroger. And if you're a member at BJ's or Costco or something like that, then they typically have better pricing as well. So when you become a gas connoisseur such as myself, you know these things. Useless information other than when
So
gas
I
is
wonder if rates
4.25
are
a gallon.
lower if you're near it. Wonder if rates are lower if you're near a Costco as opposed to a Giant
Well, if you're
Eagle.
near Equitable Mortgage, the rates are lower. If you
True,
go
yeah. And
to,
if you have your Giant Eagle card.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys should start a club like that
Yeah.
at Equitable. You have your Equitable rewards card. The more mortgages you take at Equitable, the better your rate. I'm an
We
idea
used
man,
to
Chuck.
have something called the free refinance card. That's how we started our company. And we
Yeah,
literally would refinance people for no cost.
yeah.
We and that back before the regulations and cost completely skyrocketed on mortgages.
Well, it's the old Ray Kroc thing at McDonald's. If you can get the kids to want to come to McDonald's, they have to bring the parents. And it's the same thing.
Interesting.
If you come and get a mortgage at Equitable, I'm going to tell all my friends and family, hey, I get free refinancing. They bring all their friends and family. I mean, it's a good business model. And we're kind
It
of in
is.
the
It was a
same
great
thing here
model.
at Sell for 1%. People see what we do, which is at the very minimum, the very same that you're going to get with any other realtor, real estate agent, and you get more. You get me with 27 years of experience. You get Jaysen with 20 years of experience. Not many people have sold the number of houses that we've sold. And so you're bringing a ton of experience of how to get properties sold for the maximum amount, and you're paying 1%. So we get a crap load of referral business, and it's great. That's what we're looking for. So, anywho, um, we are just about out of time. It's 10:27 here on a Thursday morning. Rich has got to go. I got to go. Jason's trying to show up. I think up here at the house. You sitting in our
Jason's banging
driveway?
on your door. Yeah.
I'm here to pick up some more real estate signs to put in yards, and I have a quick answer for you on your oil question.
Okay.
Oil, it says, is priced like gold. It's a global commodity, so those prices are based on. It is based on the 20% of oil getting cut off from Iran coming through the Strait, and so or wherever it's coming from through the Strait. And the analogy it used was that if 20% of the homes globally disappeared, it would affect prices in Columbus,
Why is
even
that?
though Columbus housing wouldn't change. It's a global commodity.
Hmm.
It's called supply and
It,
demand,
it's
Hmm.
and the
global
traders bid the
economy.
future. The traders bid the futures up.
Yep.
All righty. Well, I don't agree. I think Congress ought to have some real
Imagine
meetings,
my shock.
drag in these oil execs and find out what in the world's going on. That's what I want to know.
Bernie Sanders for president. That's what I say.
Listen, it's transitory. Okay, don't worry about it.
Way I look at it. All right, you guys.
It's
I appreciate you showing
see
up
you
here this
later.
morning. Yep. Rich, I'll see you tomorrow about 1 o'clock.
Yep.
There you
My
go.
office, right?
Yep. We're going to be there.
Okay. We
So,
just got clear to close, by the way. Well, I'm talking to you.
well, that's good.
No, I figured you guys are having like roosters or something. I didn't know you're actually getting work done.
No, we wouldn't leave you out on a food thing.
I
You'd
would
be
No.
hope
all right.
not.
All right, you guys. Thanks
You,
for being here this morning, and we'll
okay,
see what
boys.
happens next week with the war, oil, housing, mortgage rates. Any other questions
We're
that you guys have, post them here on the video, and we'll be happy to address those for you.
we're gonna wash everything out and make
Yeah, boy.
lower rates.
There you go. All right, guys. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye bye.
See you later.